Hey guys, welcome to the YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about WrestleMania, because WrestleMania is this weekend. So I've got the card pulled open here on Wikipedia so I can have a look at the match lineup. And also I've got the big, you know, Big Eagle belt, because I figure if I'm going to have belts I might as well show them off. I've chosen this one over Big Gold because honestly this just feels like a better belt. Plus it just feels nicer. It's actual, like, this is almost authentic. This is ORM who made this belt. A Pakistani creator, and yeah, real leather. But yeah, so let's talk about WrestleMania. I've got the match card here, so I'm just going to go through and tell you my thoughts, who I think's going to win, predictions, what I think's going to happen. Now, the first few matches I probably don't care all that much about. So the War Raiders v the New Day, I think that's pretty standard. The New Day go over. I think the New Day are going to win the titles, unless there's something with Big E that happens or something. I can't see the New Day losing, other than like if Big E gets involved. So yeah, New Day go over, I think. Rey Mysterio versus El Grand Americanos, or what's his name? The one who used to be with Jason Jordan. I forget his name. Chad Gable. That's his name. It's terrible how I remember some wrestlers' names, but yeah. Well, we don't know if it's him. It might be Mr. America. It might be Hulk Hogan under that mask. We don't know. But I think there's going to be a culmination here of like maybe all of them team up on him. So I reckon Rey Mysterio goes over in that match. Rey Mysterio wins. Jade Cargill versus Naomi. I could see Jade Cargill going over, having that WrestleMania moment. I could see that happening. Naomi, I don't think that's going to happen. I think Jade Cargill gets a WrestleMania moment here. I think this will be a good match. LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. Give Jacob Fatu a title. Give him the US title. But also, can we have Tama Tonga there? Yeah. Can we just have that? That'll be cool, like a cool WrestleMania moment if you have Jacob Fatu holding the US title, and then you have Tama Tonga there celebrating, and then we can build that towards a, Solo comes back and says, it'd be cool if even along the line Roman acknowledges Jacob Fatu. Like, that'll be pretty cool. I mean, Roman is the tribal chief though, but I think maybe that's where they're building towards, and then you have this whole thing of like Solo versus Jacob at SummerSlam, perhaps. Possibly where it could go, but I think LA Knight has to lose for that to happen. As much as I don't want LA to lose at WrestleMania, it's got to happen. I think Jacob Fatu is in that spot right now that he needs to have that win. Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. Who cares about this match, really? I mean, I think Tiffany goes over. I mean, yeah, I guess so. Maybe Charlotte wins. I don't know. I don't really care, because they've tried to build the match and make it a bit realistic, and build all the personal stuff into it. And I honestly just couldn't care less about this match, to be honest. I mean, they had a couple of chances, but Charlotte Flair in another WrestleMania main event. Do we care? Are we kind of sick of Charlotte at this point? Oh well, they're going with Charlotte, but I don't really care who wins that match. But since I've got to pick someone in this, can Tiffany Stratton just win? I don't care. Charlotte's won too much at WrestleMania, and I'm just kind of bored of Charlotte at this point. Like, I mean, I love Charlotte Flair. I love her athleticism and all that stuff, but Charlotte has been in it feels like almost every WrestleMania main event for the women for the past 10 years. Like, it's time to give someone else a chance. Gunther versus Jey Uso. How not to book a world title match? Oh, geez. How do we feel about this one, guys? I mean, they had it right in the palm of their hand with Jey Uso. All they had to do was just keep them separated. I mean, I don't think he should have won the Royal Rumble. I mean, it was cool they won the Royal Rumble, but I don't know how this match wins. I mean, I think Jey Uso wins. I think Jey Uso needs that world title coming through the crowd going, "It's just me, Uso." Could work. Or they could really build Gunther for another year and make him like the unstoppable champion. I mean, they did it with Roman for years and years, so they could go that route and make him like the champion that can't be beat. But I think it's more likely that Jey Uso goes over, because that's what they want, and I think that's where they'll pull the trigger on. And then night one main event, Roman Reigns versus CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. Here's a controversial take. I think everyone's saying that, oh, Paul Heyman's going home with Seth Rollins. He's going with Seth Rollins. Roman, I don't think Roman goes over in this match. As much as I hate to say it, I don't think Roman wins this one. I think we have to admit that Roman doesn't need another WrestleMania moment. Punk could use a WrestleMania moment, but I don't see Punk going over in this match. I can't see a scenario where Punk goes over. Rollins seems likely to win, I would say. And I think what happens then is Seth Rollins has asked for a favor because, favors are going all around the WWE at the moment. I think what happens here is they've been playing with the idea, like even a throwaway line from Michael Cole of CM Punk's the original Paul Heyman guy. Yeah, there might be someone before that who I think comes to mind. And they've been playing with him retiring and stuff like that. They've been saying, oh, Brock is retired. He's done with it. But nobody has actually confirmed these reports. So I think we have a WrestleMania where Brock Lesnar comes back in this main event. They need something to close out the night, something big. And whether the controversy still plagues Brock Lesnar in terms of the McMahon lawsuit and all that, I think Brock has been pretty much acquitted. I haven't been following the case all too much, but I know the prosecution are trying to get Brock on the stand or whatever they're trying to do. But I don't know if there's I haven't been following it that closely. I'm sure someone in the comments can say, oh, this is what's actually happening with the Brock and Vince case. I'm not really following it. But just by the conversations and stuff that's been happening on TV, I think Brock comes back in this one. I think we're talking about all these Paul Heyman guys, how Roman, and then you have, Punk, and then they've been saying all these Paul Heyman guys. We haven't really heard about Brock Lesnar at this point, and whether they're brave enough to pull that trigger is another question, or whether they actually should pull that trigger because, Brock is surrounded by controversy at the moment. Whether that's the case, we'll have to wait and see, but if they decide not to go that route, I think Paul Heyman leaves WrestleMania with Seth Rollins. Rollins goes over. Even if Brock comes back, I still think Rollins goes over. Let's move on to night 2. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. Really couldn't care that much about that match. It's a tag match. I mean, Liv Morgan's in that, so I mean, I'd want to say Liv go over. Liv going over is always good, but I don't know. I haven't been following that rivalry too closely. I haven't been following what's been going on, but it would be cool to see Liv Morgan and potentially Dom both holding titles on WrestleMania. That could be an interesting thing, but we'll get to that in a moment. AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. I don't know about this one. I think AJ could really polish Logan Paul up and make him like the top heel, but I think he could showcase Logan Paul's ability. I think AJ's a great WrestleMania match, but I think Logan Paul goes over in this one. I think they give it to Logan Paul because I think Logan Paul has a boxing match coming up or something. So I could see Logan going over. I think Logan goes over in this one, but I think it'll be a great match. I think AJ will really put on a showcase with Logan, and I think it'll showcase both of their abilities. Braun Breaker versus Penta versus Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. I'm divided on this one. Let's face it, I don't think Penta's going over, and I don't think Finn Balor's going over. It's between Braun Breaker and Dominic Mysterio. I could see a scenario where some antics happen and then we have Dominic Mysterio going over, but I think Dominic gets the win in this one. As much as we hate to say Dominic wins, I think Dominic wins. I think it's his time to hold that, the US title or Intercontinental? The Intercontinental title. I think it's Dom's time to hold that Intercontinental title, especially if Liv goes over in the first match of this night too. That could be an interesting scenario where they're both champions. Could happen, but yeah, I'm going to say I wouldn't be too hurt if Braun Breaker has that shining moment of a champion who wins at WrestleMania and keeps holding his title. Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre, Sin City Street Fight. Another match I just don't care about. I know we're saying it's a WrestleMania, but it feels like a glorified, not a house show, but it feels like a glorified Raw at this point. Like some of these matches, it feels a bit more like maybe a Crown Jewel than anything. I've heard people compare this to Crown Jewel, but well, I can't. I don't think this is a WrestleMania worthy card, but Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre, I'm sure they'll put on an absolute slobber knocker, as they say, as old JR would say. But, or actually, was it King who used to say slobber knocker, but no, and then there's government mules and all this other stuff. I don't know, all the old school wrestling references, but out of this match, I could see Finn Balor messing up Damian Priest, and then Drew going over, because obviously Drew lost that title last year. He won it, but then he lost it, so I could see Drew getting that second chance, or they could keep playing to the tabloids and saying, oh, you know, Drew stormed out of WrestleMania or whatever. I'm sure they could wrap that into something. Io Sky versus... So as for the last one, I said, yeah, Drew McIntyre could go over in this one. I don't know, it depends how the outside interference and how they want to handle it, but I think it's more likely that potentially Priest goes over, but I could see a scenario where Drew wins. Io Sky versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley. I'm always going to say Mummy. I'm always going to say Rhea Ripley. Doesn't matter who she's against. I want Rhea to win. Enough said. I mean, look, Io Sky and Bianca Belair will put up a great fight. And I'm sure, look, Bianca Belair, she's in the same scenario as Charlotte at this point, in my view. Does she need to be in another WrestleMania main event? Probably not. She's been in just about every one of them for the past 5-6 years. I don't need to see more Bianca Belair winning. Okay? Love Bianca Belair. Love her as a performer. And I'm sure people will say the same thing about Rhea Ripley. Io Sky could retain. I mean, that could be an interesting scenario where the champion retains. I mean, that's a scenario where maybe they give Io Sky her chance to shine. I mean, both Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley have had their WrestleMania moments in the past. So I think Io Sky might win. But I'm going to say Mummy. I'm saying Rhea Ripley should win. That's who I want to win. Just because Australian, I'm going to back the Australians. And then the main event. Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. Okay, this is the most intriguing part of WrestleMania. This is, I mean, outside of the Paul Heyman stuff, who's Paul Heyman going with, this is the most intriguing part of Mania, as it is the second night main event. Does Cena win number 17? I think yes. I think there's no way that they get around this without John Cena winning. Cena needs to win. He's turned heel. There is no point in Cena turning heel if he doesn't win. Now, there could be a thing of like, even turning heel and going against all his morals, he still couldn't pull off the big one. But I think it's more likely Cena goes over, because then you have your entire lead up to SummerSlam worked out. I mean, Cody goes away for a bit. I think Cody needs to go away for a bit, and I'm sure Cody wants a bit of time, you know. He's been on the road non-stop as the champion. I'm sure Cody will look forward to, like, spending a bit of time with, you know, his wife and family. I'm sure that's something that Cody would be keen to do. And then Cena could carry the whole thing up till SummerSlam, when they maybe have Orton or CM Punk versus Cena. You know, you've got your rivalries right there. Heel Cena versus Orton, and different dynamic that we thought we wouldn't see. You have a second program with CM Punk. Like, you know, the Summer of Punk was a big thing 10, 15 years ago. And then, you know, you can almost replicate that with a heel Cena, but a face CM Punk. And likewise, I mean, maybe that leads to Punk winning the main event of the first night WrestleMania. Maybe that's where Punk wins that, and then you build it towards Cena versus Punk. Maybe that's a scenario. But I just see a lot more rivalries for Cena. I mean, you could even have, like, Cena versus Roman. Like, there's that scenario. So, because Roman's never had his rematch. There's that scenario. I just see more potential here for a John Cena run. I think there's a John Cena title run. And also, let's just get beyond this number 16 thing with Flair. Flair held like 25 world titles. I mean, no one counted. I think the official number by WWE is, you know, 16 time, because it sounds nice on a t-shirt. But Flair actually held like 25 world titles, if you're actually counting all of them. Flair held like 25 of them or something, so it's not going to tarnish Flair. Flair's still technically the leader, I think. I mean, Hogan's pretty close. I know Hogan held like 22 of them or something. But I see Cena winning this one. There's no way around it. Cena has to go over. I mean, I don't see the big appeal of Cody. Now, how do we get to that? I think The Rock comes in at some point. I think The Rock has to get involved. Maybe Travis gets involved. Maybe that's a scenario. Everyone's saying Stone Cold. I think Stone Cold will lay down some stunners. But am I the only one who thinks there needs to be a third man in here? I mean, they keep saying, like, You have Cena and Rock standing there with Cena in that shot where he's got his foot on Cody, and they're just standing side by side, and then you have Travis in the back. But I feel like there needs to be almost like another wrestler in there. Maybe another wrestler turns heel. Maybe that could be Orton. Maybe Orton slingshots himself into the main event scene again by turning heel. And I don't know, maybe there's scenarios here where I don't know how Cena gets to it. I don't know how we get from that result. And this is the best part about Mania. I don't see how this match goes down. I can predict and I can speculate, but I want to see how they execute this. I want to see how Triple H has kind of told them this is what's going to happen. I don't know how we get to there, but I think the end result is Cena going over, number 17. He'll be raising the WWE title at the end of the night, raising it up, saying, I'm the champ again. Now go to, I mean, Cody already bought the toy belt. He had him on SmackDown this past week. He had that spinner title that looked god-awful from the WWE shop. I mean, so he's basically buying the FanDuel belts already. That could play into it, I don't know. But I think they need to have Cena go over. It ties into the whole story and the whole, oh, how do we stop Cena now? It's almost like heel Super Cena. How do we stop that? So I don't know, but I think Cena needs to go over. I could see a scenario where Cody wins and Cody aligns with The Rock, where he turns heel, and the only way he can beat heel John Cena is to align with The Rock. And I could see Cody turning heel, and then maybe at the end of WrestleMania, you have 3 heels. You have The Rock in the center, you have Cena on one side, and you have Cody on the other side, and then they lay reign to the WWE over the next year. I don't see that happening, but it could be a scenario. Outside of that, I think Cena wins. Lol. But that's my WrestleMania predictions. And I guess there's an unofficial one here where we might get it on SmackDown this week, because this is filmed prior to SmackDown, where Randy Orton may potentially go against, what's his name? Magnus. I don't know what he calls himself. What's the SmackDown GM's name? I'm still referring to him as his TNA name. Brutus Magnus was his name in TNA. Let's type this in. We're going to get his name right. And I'm on airplane mode, so how annoying. Oh, what's his name? He's married to Mickey James. You know the guy that I'm talking about, right? His name slips my mind right now, and it's really annoying, because it's like, I really should have that thing, but yeah, I don't know. Why is my Wi-Fi not connected? Let's look. What's his name? Nick Aldis. Should have known. But I could see a scenario where Nick Aldis, how old is he? He's only 38. Geez, why is he not competing anymore? Has he got like an injury or something? Why is he not competing? I could see a scenario, because Randy RKO'd him after the Kevin Owens thing. I could see a scenario where Randy goes against him, Nick Aldis. In that case, I think maybe Nick Aldis goes over, or, I mean, Randy could go over. I mean, I don't know how they play that, but that could be an interesting dynamic to WrestleMania. But I think the last image you see on WrestleMania is Cena raising that title, number 17. We get, I don't know if he'll do the spinner belt. I don't think, everyone's been speculating on the spinner belt coming back. I just don't see it. I think he's more likely to keep that title, and then, you know, maybe he comes back with a spinner belt. Maybe that's an interesting scenario, but the whole thing of Cena is that he's not doing what the fans want anymore, and the fans want the spinner belt, so there's no better way to not give the fans what they want by keeping the current title or something and saying, this is the real world title now, and Cody can have the spinner or whatever. Here's a toy one for Cody or whatever. That could be a scenario, but yeah. These are my WrestleMania thoughts. Let me know what you think down in those comments, guys, and I will catch you in the next one. I'm going to just end abruptly like I've been doing, so peace out.